Hi, my dear Astro family. I wanted to make a video about the upcoming Neptune and Jupiter semi-square. I wanted to do this in my weekly forecast video, but unfortunately I forgot that, so I decided to actually make it public and make it available for everyone. But if you are interested in signing up on my YouTube family, you can do that. And then I will be breaking this down for the 12 signs as well, so you can benefit in the bestest way. But here I'm going to be giving you a general description of what this might mean. Now, basically, Jupiter is on 11 degree of Taurus, and then we've got, sorry, 13 degree of, 12 degree of Taurus, and then we've got Neptune on almost on 27 degree of Pisces. So this is forming a semi-square. Now, what house does it fall into for you? Because those are the two houses where you might experience a bit of a tension here. By the way, if you want to learn more about house positions, planet in houses, then I will be actually doing a course on house rulers in certain houses. So you can get the full picture, and then basically you can become, quite professional with your work as well. And this is exactly a Jupiter and Neptune topic anyway, because Jupiter is about higher learning, Neptune is about spirituality. So many of us need to kind of learn to do some spiritual practices. This is going to be one of the meanings of that. But before we run into that, remember that Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces. Then we've got Jupiter, which is the traditional ruler. So the two rulers are actually making an aspect. Now, there have been two semi-square happened between them two already. So this is going to be the third one and the final. So I'm going to give you some very important dates because you might want to be reflecting on those, what happened around that time, because that could be repeating now around the 3rd, 4th of March, depending on where you are. This is when this semi-square is going to be happening. Now, remember that a planetary conjunction, especially between the big ones, it's always a very pivotal moment in our life. So we had a Jupiter-Neptune conjunction happening on almost on 24 degree of Pisces in April 2022. And basically, one of the planets is always faster. So Jupiter has moved on, and then now it's making this 45-degree aspect to it. So you might want to be reflecting on 2022, April onwards, what was going on in your life, probably April and May, June. That's what I would be looking at. There was only one conjunction happening between Neptune and Jupiter, so it was kind of like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And of course, Jupiter is about promises. And Neptune, we kind of get drawn to it. So it could have indicated, for example, that you jumped into an opportunity, which was the opportunity of your life, or it could have led to disappointment as well, depending on which end you were with that. Now, a semi-square, we might want to be talking about that a little bit, because this time around, a semi-square happens between them two. And semi-square, actually, it's kind of like a minor aspect. It's a 45-degree aspect. So it's going to be a little bit similar to the square element. So it has got that Marsian flavor to it. We only tend to be including the semi-squares in modern astrology, not so much in traditional ones. It happens when we have got two planets in certain signs and houses that are basically within 45 degrees from each other. So you can interpret it kind of like a square. That would be the whole idea about this aspect. So it brings some type of challenges. It brings some type of adjustments needed in our life. This would talk to you about sometimes frustration. Sometimes this would be talking to you about the need to take action on something. So on one hand, I don't necessarily look at semi-squares or squares all the time as being too difficult. I think it is inviting us to take action on something. So what is Neptune and Jupiter semi-square calls you to act upon? It calls you to dissolve your negative belief systems, for example. It calls you upon to bring your dreams down to earth, because Jupiter is in the sign of Taurus, and Taurus is about tangibility. So it's not enough to be in the la la land. It's not enough to be having these huge dreams if you are not going to be taking actions on them. So have faith in yourself. I mean, Jupiter in Taurus is really focused on increasing your confidence level as well as your finances. So if those two areas in your life that need adjustments, then it's a high time actually to do that. So this is one of the ways how you can approach it. Now, if we want to be making something to do with, you know, adjustments, then you might want to be looking at what were your dreams back in 2022, or even 2023 June or 2023 December, because that's when the first two semi-squares happened. And then if you have done the work and you feel like it's still not giving you the tangible results, then this aspect is actually asking you to make certain type of adjustments. So in the best way, I think how you should be looking at this whole picture, you want to be looking at the point of 24 degree of Pisces in your chart, because that was the start of it. And then now you want to be looking at the 11, 12 degree of Taurus and the 26, 27 degree of Pisces. And you want to bring these two together. And this is the way how it's going to be working for you in the bestest way. Now, the last time we had, for example, the conjunction between Jupiter and Neptune in the sign of Pisces was in 1856, when actually Sigmund Freud was born. By the way, Jupiter and Neptune meets approximately every 13 years. So we had a conjunction between them two in 2009 on late degrees of Aquarius. So you can even do a bit of a reflection on those times as well. But I would say, just like the moon is considered to be invisible because of the sun's ray for about 4 or 5 days. Before and 4 or 5 days after the new moon as well. So if we take that into account with the Jupiter and Neptune cycle as well, then actually Jupiter is approximately about invisible for a year from Neptune. So that conjunction is a little bit invisible. It's quite subtle. It might have been just, turning up some feeling, turning them upside down, or maybe moving you slightly forward. But this semi-square, what started in June 2023, that was the real time when something made visible for you. So some of the questions that are coming up, we all have got dreams. Are you making them real? Remember, Jupiter is in Taurus. So as I said, it's tangible. It's something that needs to be bringing you self-worth and money as well at the same time. Taurus is very conscious about security. So what makes you secure? What makes you feel that you are at the right place, for example? And Jupiter tells you that we need faith. We need to do something that is meaningful, and it brings us results as well at the same time. For example, if we fantasize about life is being good and, everything has to happen the way they are happening, then the square is telling you to adjust your belief system, because nothing should happen the way they are happening. You have got the choice to make a difference. You have got the choice to turn your life around. And of course, sometimes we make the choices to turn our life upside down as well at the same time. Taurus is classified, or, it's about food, for example. So maybe you have planned to have your garden and then plant the seeds in 2022, and maybe you planted the seeds, but it didn't work out. So this would be asking you to make adjustments, maybe choose different seeds, maybe buy a quality one, or maybe just plant a different one instead, because that does not want to grow. So this is bringing up the topics of self-growth for you. Also, I would describe it that imagine a hand is kind of like coming down from the sky, and it's an opportunity. But are you going to grab the opportunity? Because this is telling you that you must grab it. Otherwise, the opportunity is going to go away. So one more time, two meeting points that took place on 27th of June and December 16th. So there needs to be an element of reflection happening on that. And this conjunction is happening on the 3rd of March or 4th, depending on where you are. But you are going to be feeling it till about the 30th of March. So this is a 1-month transit. So let's explore the positive and the negative meanings of this. Positive. Studying spiritual subjects, it could be brilliant for you because it might give you the tools that needed to grow your self-esteem. And it might be giving you the opportunity to actually grow money on trades as well, if that's your intention. It's brilliant if you do certain type of spiritual practices around it because you can benefit from it. For example, you're going to be feeling a lot better in your own skin. Probably your sleep pattern is going to be improving significantly too. Also, this could guarantee you that you have got access to divine knowledge. But what you're going to do with that knowledge, how you are going to be using that for your own benefits. It is brilliant for artistic endeavors. You can get really inspired as well. You can become very creative at the same time too. And maybe you are able to understand the meaning of dreams, and actually it's good practice to write them down and then reflecting on them, what they might mean. Or you might want to be having a consultation with someone who might be able to give you that kind of aha moment. Maybe they are able to inspire you. Maybe they are able to give you some sacred knowledge that you haven't been aware just yet. Maybe actually you want to be attending a retreat. By the way, I am going to be making a retreat in June, 2 of them actually, in June in France, and it's going to be happening in a beautiful castle. It's all inclusive, so the accommodation as well as the food included. So you might want to be checking that out on my website, because this might be able to set you on a healing journey. So in those retreats, I'm going to be talking about trauma signatures and how we can overcome those trauma signatures through astrology. And then we're going to be looking at a bit of a relationship astrology as well at the same time. I am going to be doing that with my dear friend Karine. She's a yoga instructor, so we're going to be doing yoga practices as well. We're going to be actually doing a little bit of an outing as well, so you can look around. So I think it might be a very exciting retreat that you can take opportunity of. Now, the darker side of Jupiter and Neptune semi-square, I mean, we can run away from opportunities. We can get addicted to something. So therefore, we don't want to surrender. We don't want to give up on something. We might end up drinking, taking drugs, taking substances, taking medications, for example, because Neptune wants to numb the pain. It could indicate that you want to escape from something. I mean, Neptune is the planet of escapism in the sign of Pisces, so we just sweep the dirt under the carpet and we don't try to take notice of it, because when we don't see something, it doesn't hurt. It can bring you into some scamming situation as well. You can get really deluded. You can have loads of misunderstandings happening with this. So my recommendation is that you might want to be looking at what is right in front of you and looking at whether it's true or false. Because Jupiter in Taurus can increase the stubbornness. So this might also be asking you to look at whether your belief system is very rigid or firm. Is your truth the only truth? Is your opinion the one that matters the most? Or are you able to let go of those? Financial-wise, what is limiting you to have more money? And maybe there are some blockages there. Do you dare to dream that you can have money? Because if you have got some money blockages, then it's time to work on those. You know, when things become kind of rusty or disappointing, then how do you deal with the feeling of disappointment? Are you trying to blame yourself for the things that did not work out? You're going to start thinking that you are a failure, or you're going to end up blaming others, or you're going to ignore it completely, and then you're going to carry on whatever you were doing, regardless, because you have got the optimism that it's going to work out. Or are you just going to completely let go, thinking that the universe is going to be blessing you at one point? Or are you just going to say goodbye to something because it looks too difficult and I don't want to be dealing with difficulties whatsoever? So then I just again move on and then try something else. So ask yourself the question, are you ready to get disappointed as well? And you might also want to be looking at Saturn in your chart. Of course, Saturn is also in the sign of Pisces. So who do you allow to win? Is that Jupiter, who wants to grow your pocket? Or you allowing Saturn in the sign of Pisces, who is actually limiting the pocket, and maybe it takes out some as well? So remember, Saturn is being the counterpart of Jupiter and Neptune as well. So Neptune is about not having boundaries, and then Saturn is trying to give a frame to something. So do not forget that Saturn is co-witnessing at the moment Pisces along with Neptune. And the upcoming full moon is on the midpoint of Saturn and Neptune. So this is the reason why I wanted to talk about this. I felt like this was a missing piece of information that I should have mentioned in detail in my lunation video. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I would like to see you in France in person as well. Please subscribe to the channel, press like, share it with your friends, ring the notification bell so you don't miss my, I think, valuable videos where I try to share some very unique information as well. And I'm going to see you again in the next video. Have a great one. See you soon. Bye-bye.